Well, it's been about 5 weeks since we looked around the grove. Last time was the north side of the driveway, and today we'll take a look at the south side of the driveway. So almost everything in this area is mango trees, and we have, of course, flowers going on now. And this tree right here was really sort of exciting to me because I top worked part of this tree and I thought, great flowers. And then I looked, and that's actually the older part of the tree. So the half of the tree, or more than half right now, is Florigon. And Florigon is going crazy. There's lots of fruit set on this, on the Florigon side. And this lower part here, and actually it's gotten pretty tall, that's Kuk Lam Krong. And that is a variety that I'm really looking forward to tasting, but it's not flowering yet. We are expecting low temperatures, I guess it's Saturday night, going into the 30s, so hopefully that'll be enough to inspire Kuk Lam Krong and also any other varieties to flower. But so far, lots of Florigon little tiny fruit. This is Nam Dak Mai, and no flowers going on here. This is lemon meringue or popicole, and again, it's not started to flower yet. This is Jakarta, and Jakarta on the other side of the grove was flowering, and this was flowering about the same time, and now we just have a lot of little fruit. So Jakarta is looking great, lots of fruit set. They're about pea-sized, and some of them are turning yellow. Those are not going to make it. But we're hoping for a good year for Jakarta because it's really a nice variety. Classic Indian flavors and just really big, juicy, colorful fruit. Everybody likes that. And this is one of our Valencia Pride trees. We trim all of our trees at the end of the season, so this is the trimmed version of this tree. A lot of new growth since it was trimmed, but no flowers yet. Here's Rosy Gold. Rosy Gold has been busy flowering and producing small fruit. So lots of small fruit on this tree, and it's looking pretty darn healthy so far. It's just a few panicles that I see a little bit of powdery mildew on, but really lots of small fruit that are looking good. So this is Sea Crest, also known as Triple Sec, and you can tell that it just made a spectacle of itself with the bloom, and now we're seeing the panicles with small fruit. So, as I say, if we get 1 or 2 fruit developing from a panicle, it will be a really good year. But so, only time will tell how many mangoes we'll actually get from this tree. Look at all those little fruit, that's just crazy. This is Florigon again, and of course it can't hold all of those fruit, but that is impressive. Huge amount of fruit set. This is Duncan. Wow, Duncan and Florigon are going like head to head in this competition. Lots and lots of Duncan fruit. Then this over here is lemon meringue. You can tell like there's nothing going on anywhere except for this one little branch tip. Look at this. This is funny. So far, that's all I see on the whole tree. It's one of our sugar apple trees. It is finished with fruit for the year, as are all of our sugar apple trees. I should say for the season. Season should start again in about the end of July or early August. This is our fruit punch, another popular variety. Some of these fruit are getting darn big. You can see there's different sizes on the same tree. Yeah, obviously the different parts of the tree had a little bit different time to flower. Look at the top of the tree. We've got some that are possibly a little more than an inch large. And this is Carrie. No action here. Another Valencia Pride that is just happy making leaves right now. So this is sort of interesting, is, you know, this Carrie right over here, nothing going on. Right over here is another Carrie tree. So this is like 15 feet away, and we have a lot of flowers going on. Not a lot of fruit set, but we do have a lot of panicles. It's another Carrie tree. Yeah, it's a little bit of fruit that is forming. And Carrie does have the reputation of like whatever fruit forms on the tree, it tends to hang on for, you know, like the duration. So it's not a huge problem that I don't see a lot of fruit set, because whatever is, you know, like actually a small fruit will probably become a large fruit. And again, right next door to those blooms, another Carrie tree. We do have a little bit of bloom on this one, but not much yet. This is Sweet Tart, and not showing any flowers on that. Another Carrie tree. This area of the tree has quite a few flowers. Not all of the areas do, but that in the top seems to have a lot of flowers. Here's another lemon meringue tree, and it's funny because sort of the same situation here. We're seeing a lot of area without any flowers, and then seeing this one panicle here with a lot of fruit on it. So it's really not a good strategy for these trees to put all of their eggs in one basket, but apparently that seems to be the theme so far with lemon meringue. It's really too early in the season to judge the season of, it's too early in the flowering season to judge what the fruit will be, because that cold weather could get all of these lemon meringue to fruit, flower and fruit. This is another tree, another lemon meringue that is looking awfully green, but no flowers. Then we have Glen, and essentially no flowers here. It's another Glen tree. And we have a few panicles. Nothing impressive yet. Got a lot of our Glen trees right in a row here. And none of them have really taken off with the flowers. I mean, we do have a little bit of flowers and fruit set, but the whole tree hasn't done that yet. This is the last of the Glen trees in this area, and sort of the same situation. A few flowers, that's it. This is a multi-graft tree, Juliet and Best, and so far they are showing us leaves. No flowers on that tree. We'll go around to this one. Well, I thought this tree might be flowering, but I don't see it yet. This is topwork, the seedling to Pope Ukulele. Sorry, Promchimea. And nope, not flowering yet. The Promchimea often will flower and sometimes even fruit off season, but nothing yet. It's another carry tree, just one little spot of it that has some flowers. This we have coconut cream, very nice variety, but we just have like 2 panicles over here. A little bit of emerging bloom. And just a tree that wants to be green. I really don't see the flowers. We've got, I guess, a few flowers on the north side, which is sort of weird because it's mostly, it doesn't get a lot of sun in that area, but I guess conditions were pretty good. This tree right here is Venus, topworked, another variety to Venus, and it is looking good. We've got panicles here, and then it looks like in the back we've got some fun stuff. We've got lots of little fruit. Of course, Venus is a rather large fruit. It's a late season fruit, and so lots of these small fruit are going to drop off. But it does look like we'll get some fruit, and of course, as I keep saying, there's still a chance of another flowering on these trees. Even when they have flowered some already, the rest of the branches might flower. This is a topwork tree, used to be Duncan, and I put Benganapali on here. I am not seeing any flowers yet. This is from the neighbor tree. This is not the same tree. Get a little excited when I see the flowers, but those actually don't look like Benganapali flowers. But nothing on that tree. This tree here is another carry, and same situation. We've been seeing few panicles, mostly green. Same thing here. Right, this next one though, this is a tess pollock tree, and if the top of the tree was early to flower, and we've got some pretty sizable fruit on it right now. The rest of the tree was, these are all older blooms, and those blooms don't look like they were successful. They might have gotten hurt by powdery mildew or something, but this is really not, there's no reason to expect fruit to develop from that. Just this this west side of the tree, the later bloom was just a bad time to bloom, apparently. So hopefully the branch tips that haven't bloomed yet will bloom at a better time. We do spray for powdery mildew, which can really affect the flowers, and also for anthracnose and such. But sometimes the timing of the weather is just not in our favor. We can't spray during windy conditions, for instance. It's another tree that I decided to top work, cut it back and top worked it. So I do not expect any fruit from it this year because it's in the, it's trying to grow big. Basically, this is a pretty sizable trunk. I would say maybe 8 inches in diameter. And these, of course, are rather small branches. And so all that food that's in the root system and in the trunk wants to support a large tree. So it's nice that you can graft onto a tree and it becomes a good size and gets a good crop fairly soon, but not this soon. It still needs to grow a bit. So, same story here, another lemon meringue, no action except for a little bit of mixed bloom here. So there, and actually this little clump of the tree has mixed bloom, only mixed bloom. But the rest of the tree not showing any flowers. Then here's our alfonso tree, and we did a major cut recently to open it up, and we've got some flowers here on the north side. Nothing to start jumping up and down about, but we do have some flowers going on there. So we'll see how it goes. Here's another tree that I top worked. This is now fruit punch. And not flowering yet. Yeah, more carry, same story, just a few flowers here and there. Here's another Valencia Pride tree, and at the top of the tree you see a lot of young growth, young leaves. And so that part of the tree might not flower at all this season, but if it does, it'll be much later because that has to become mature growth. So, more carry here, nothing out of the ordinary, just a lot of places on the tree that have not yet flowered. This area of this tree right here, that's I top worked to Phoenix, and it seems to be flowering very nicely. The lower part of the tree will probably come along, start flowering soon, but the top of the tree and then this area of the tree also is flowering. Some young fruit. It's another tess pollock tree, and some of the bloom that I'm looking at looks like it got hit with some disease, but other parts of the tree seem to be doing all right. So hopefully we'll have some fruit, but we'll have to see. This is a cherry tree that had a lot of bloom on this. This is the southwest side, gets a lot of sun. And so that area's got a lot of flowers so far. This part has some different kinds of bloom here. We've got A lot of the flowers just were not successful on this one. Don't know if it just got bad conditions or for a little bit, but this particular panicle is looking a lot better. More Carrie. Now this tree right here is Gary, not Carrie. It's named after Gary Zill. Really nice little mango, and it looks like we have quite a bit of bloom right now. This little tree is not flowering and probably won't this year because that's recently top worked. And here we have quite the spectacle. This is Namdok Mai, and the Namdok Mai at the beginning of this walk had 0 flowers, 0 fruit on it. And this area of the Namdok Mai, this particular tree is just going crazy. It's got tons of little fruit on it. And this, I haven't looked at the other side, but this area right here was, for the last 2 years, was quite a bit ahead of the rest of the tree in producing fruit. And so, this was like crop number 1, and then the rest of the tree was just lagging behind. So we do have some flowers here on the rest of the tree, but not nearly as many as we did on that big branch coming out. So a little bit of Namdok Mai versus lots, and it's the same tree. This is another Namdok Mai, and I am not seeing flowers on that at all. And finally, this is our big kit tree. This was one of the few mango trees that was here when I moved in 1999. And it was a fairly old tree then. I think it was maybe 20 years old, as I recall. But we've been keeping it trimmed, and so it hasn't gotten that much bigger than when we first moved. And so it's a nice tree, but right now it's, well, except for this, it's looking like a landscape tree. We do have a little bit of flowering going on here and there. That's a pretty small panicle. So it really doesn't bother me that the kit mango is not flowering right now. Some years we get flowers fairly early on the kit, and then we get flowers a little bit later, and then flowers again. And that's special in its own way because you get to pick the kit mango over a long period of time. But since it's not flowering now, I'm hoping that it sort of waits a bit to flower, because it is a very reliable variety, and if it flowers late, it will just make our mango season a little bit longer.